Not explain why my system did that. Give me a sec here. All right, everyone. Well, you guys missed something really great. And you know me, I don't always remember what I said. So I am going to make sure you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. Perfect. And so we're good. All right, here we are. Oh, let me turn off the music now. Okay. If anything, doing this type of stuff has really taught me to be very calm. And I've been dealing with OBS now, so I just went to some settings and they are showing errors, and I have no idea why. So anyway, we're back. And I was saying that today was such a beautiful day. I'm feeling so inspired. I've had so much communication with people that are having these positive shifts. I have downloads that I can articulate, and I was saying how much information I have to articulate today or say, and I was just wanting to make sure I say it as clearly as possible. So welcome to the So Brilliant group healing call. We'll have a chat, and then we'll get into the healing energy, which the healing energy is already flowing through. So somebody was mentioning that something's bubbling up. So what happens before a healing session is your higher self knows you're going to attend, and some people are very sensitive. They'll feel actually things moving through their body and think, okay, what's bubbling up? Some people will start burping. Some people will start having old memories. Like, why am I thinking about that? I forgot about that. And it's really neat how this healing, just healing sessions work in general. Your higher self brings things to the surface that are ready to release. And sometimes when we're having personal sessions and we're just doing like a regular session, something big comes out and we're like, whoa, where did that come from? So they ask, where did that come from? How did I have that in my field? Well, we're very multidimensional beings. So as we heal, layer by layer by layer by layer, and for some of us lots of layers, we then allow whatever's hiding very deep to come to the surface. And I believe it comes to the surface for many different reasons. But one, as you're doing a lot of work, we are a duality. We have the shadow side and we have the light side. And what happens is as we release more of the shadow side and bring in more of the light, we're bringing up our light quotient. Well, if you can imagine, if you were like me back in the day, very dense, depressed, sad, you're just in this heavy, dimness, very little light. Not to say that I wasn't a kind person, but I was interfered with tremendously, right? We all go through our traumas or experiences that are not so easy. So as we start to release that dense part of us and we're bringing in more light, and our vibrations increasing, our frequencies light increasing, our light quotients increasing, because we're shedding layer by layer of stuff we don't need. Those things, what do we call them? Those negative consciousness, I would call them attachments, could call them interference. There's many different names for them. So it's an energetic energy that's in our system that's not really serving us. Well, can't really handle that high vibration. So what's happening is it's coming to the surface, and sometimes it'll give either a physical feeling, an uncomfortable feeling of anxiety. Some people actually hear them talk, saying like, stop talking, I feel it, it's getting angry. It's like, okay, dark energy or negative energy will try to scare us in every which way. If I could instill this in everybody, the light within you is the most powerful energy on earth. So we're used to thousands of years of darkness scaring us and taking us over and controlling our lives. And it's like chaos, depression, confusion, worry, anger, and fear. So it's in our nervous system. We get scared. Oh my gosh. But as we start to learn that the light on this planet, which is now shifted higher than ever before, well, if you stay in your present moment where you're most connected to the light, none of that can bother you. Now, of course, it's easier said than done. I've gone through my own experiences to come to the other side of fear. And I don't get scared of anything, not even embarrassment anymore. It's just like I am who I am. I do what I do because I can't imagine doing anything else. That's it. I just wake up in the morning, I do my thing, I surrender, and it's a really peaceful place to be. It's different, but I'm still Brenda Ferrugia. I still interact with my children. I can still do fun things, and I can be in peace about it. Like I don't like the drama anymore and the chaos and all that. But interestingly, here we are on a call like this. I'm going to say hello before I get into the next topic because there's a lot of people on the chat, and hello, hello, hello. It's always so nice. I know it kind of feels like one-sided, but it's not one-sided to me because when I see the chat going, I try not to always look because when I'm just going with a flow and I start to read, I use the other part of my brain which kind of stops the flow. But I go ahead and chat, but if I don't notice the chat right away, you can talk amongst yourselves. And I always do re-look at the end, and I try to look before we get into the healing part. So it's really great to see everybody. And Joe, my hairdresser, is on this evening, so thank you for the new haircut. It's always such a, I'll shout out to my hairdresser right there. Everyone says I have nice hair, and I think it's all because of Joe. So I'll give you a little wink there, Joe. Thank you. Okay, so the neat thing, and I have so much to explain today, and I will try to do it in the limited time I have. So I know there's a lot of uncomfortable things happening on this planet. But if you can imagine, we are in a time of choice. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited. First of all, everyone knew they were going to come to planet Earth, and there was a possibility we would go into the ascension process. Now, I've said this many times where I said, hey, listen, if you were born before 2012, we came knowing that, A, I would like to do this mission, but I also know that we may not even exist after maybe 2012 because, well, there was a forecast that we would not continue, or even 2000. We had different periods where we could have just not been here. Humanity has made it. We are in uncharted territories, which is causing a lot of anxiety because what do we like? We like things to be the same. What don't we like? We don't like change. So here we are living our lives. Everything's changing around us. We don't even know what's going on, but we want our lives to stay the same. And also it's very cute when someone goes, I'm on a spiritual journey. I want this to improve and this to improve, but please don't touch this, and this. It doesn't work that way. It's when you start these spiritual journeys, things unravel, things jig around, and things happen in a most beautiful way, but unpredictable. And we don't like unpredictability. We don't like change. We don't like to be not in control, right? So what we're looking at today is the planet Earth is in such a huge shift. We are looking at the darkest of the dark and the lightest of the light. It's almost like a ship has been turned over for the last thousands of years, and now the ship is coming to the way it should be. Well, what would happen in that case? Chaos. Things are flying all over. Nothing makes sense. Does the teacup work this way? What's going on? Because now we're in the right position. But there's so many people, and I was one of them, that we're so used to being in that upside down dark energy that it's comfortable. So I might want to gravitate back into the fear and the worry and my routine because it's comfortable, because it's what I know. So now I'm being moved, I'm looking at things and I'm thinking, wow, life is very different. I don't want to look. I'm looking at my life. I'm going to do what I want to go on the vacations I like to go on. I'm going to go have my coffee. I'm going to do that. I don't want to read anything. I don't want to do anything. But sometimes we go through an awakening. And many of us on the call here are at different levels of the awakening. Not everyone will awaken in this lifetime. We can't force them. But there are so many hearts opening up to what is going on this planet at this time. This is where you, as an individual, have the free choice to decide, what do you want? And there is no right or wrong. So we're not going to judge anyone who's not awake and choosing the darker of the dark. We're not going to, say that they're wrong. We're not going to say these people are wrong because they're just not awake. They're okay people, they're average people, but they're clueless of what's going on. That is not for us to judge. What we have control of is our thoughts, our healing journey, our growth. And as we grow, you're going to notice that the world around us changes as we change, because ultimately you are your own universe. You are creating your reality. None of this is real. Although it looks very real, it is a reflection of what is inside of us. No different or similar to when I look in a mirror, I see myself. But that's not me. It's a reflection of what I am. So here I am going through life, and someone at work really upsetting me. My kids are pissing me off. This guy's missing, this guy, this person. And I'm like, why is my life a mess? Well, it is the subconscious thoughts. It is you that is causing this. Now, I know someone say, but you can't say I caused everything. You can't say I caused this. I get it. We're co-creating. It's more complicated than a 1 + 1 = 2. All right. We are very multi-dimensional beings. We have influences that are hard to explain in 3D language. There's a lot of the language we have that we don't have the words to explain what's happening. But imagine you are influenced by your past lives. So let's say you had a trauma in a past life and you were murdered, you drowned, something. And that aspect of you in the past life, which is all happening now, which is kind of confusing, is not settled. When we pass away in trauma, we stay kind of replaying that trauma. We don't go to the world of light or heaven, let's say. So a lot of these healings that we do, sometimes we have healings from past lives. And once that energy of yourself heals, you feel more connected. Your fear of water may actually dissipate because that past life where you drowned is no longer affecting you. So past lives affect us. Traumas as children, belief system, the buy into 3D reality and the limits that we're born with. What do we all hear? You're not good enough. You can't connect to God directly. God's mad. Like that one God just loves you so much. God is like the most loving parent who never gets upset times 100 or 200 or 1,000. We can't express God's love because it's very hard to feel that love on earth, because most of us don't have unconditional love. I love you because you're doing what I want, and if you don't, then I don't. But I always go back to the eyes of Jesus in those pictures. That's unconditional love. I believe he's one of the masters who really just dripped of unconditional love. It is there for everyone. You are loved beyond measure, no matter what you have done. In separation, in a past life, in this life, where you may have think, oh, I should feel guilty, God might be mad, all those things. Just let that go, because forgive yourself and you are forgiven. Ask for forgiveness. Just say, listen, I didn't know better. And how could you know better? Because you had programs, belief systems that said you weren't good enough, that you don't deserve, you're unworthy, all those things. So being in separation isn't just being a mean person. It's also someone who doesn't have self-respect. It's also someone who's worrying. There's also someone who has anxiety, fear. Because when we have those, we're not trusting in God. So for those of us that have that anxiety, like, oh, I'm always looking over my shoulder, I always think something bad's going to happen, let it go. And unfortunately, people say, but how? How do I let it go? I want to let it go, but I can't. Or what is like, how do I let it go? Sometimes we don't know the the actual root of it, right? Because it's not presenting. Was it something that you learned from your parents? Maybe they're extra worried. Was it something that happened in a past life? Was it this? Was it that? So sometimes we have these issues we can't seem to overcome. Like some people will say, oh my gosh, I'm worried that my child's going to die. And I get that actually very commonly. Sometimes that is something that happened in an old past life and it's on the spiritual DNA. Now, if it's there and it needs healing, what happens if that's a trigger of yours? There's so many triggers people have, like, oh, say if I lose my job, I don't have money, there's this. So imagine, or say if I'm alone and I'm abandoned and nobody wants to be with me, or say if I'm not loved, or we all have that, right? We all have these like worries, and some of them are coming from past lives. So if you can imagine, if that's your trigger point, we all have our own different trigger points. And we're now infiltrated with dark energy because we're very multidimensional. There's hexes and curses, ancestral wounds, there's traumas, there's all this that are affecting who we are. Things you see on TV, things you hear about, things that are said to you. Now, this dark energy on the planet, I will say, yes, it's smart. And the reason I call it smart is it knows exactly what your weakness is, and your weaknesses, and your weaknesses, and your weakness, and my weakness. And it knows how to cause these thoughts, fears, and they trigger us. Because what they're doing is they're triggering an old trauma from when you were a child, maybe from a past life, and it feels real. But as you heal, what you're healing is, you're healing those past life traumas, you're healing the traumas in this lifetime, and you're pulling out the interference in your field that's causing these emotions or triggers to happen. Your best defense is present moment. And I love present moment. Eckhart Tolle, I remember reading Eckhart Tolle years ago, say he's talking about present moment. And I'm just like, what is he talking about present moment? It's frustrating me so much. And sometimes I would sleep with the book, trying to like talk to me when I'm sleeping because I don't get it. Well, it clicked one day. One day I realized there's two sides of me. There's this beautiful connection where I feel inspired, I feel love, I feel like invincible. And then there's another part of me that doesn't feel that way, and it says things to me. So I became an active listener. What is happening inside of me? And this is why they teach meditation, I believe, to bring you into awareness of what's happening within you. We all have a war within us between our shadow side and our light side. It's a human thing, nothing to be embarrassed about. Sometimes it's very strong and some people can really feel it. Usually an awakened person starts to notice it. Back in the day when I lost my connection, I was just living a life and it was tough and it was crazy and I was lost. I didn't notice that there was actually an intelligence within me that liked to bring me into danger, that liked to hurt me, that wanted me pretty much to die. I didn't know that. It wasn't until I had my awakening and I started to really try to listen within. I was reading a lot. When you have that awakening, the first thing you want to do is talk to people who are in it, read, listen, do work. And as you start to self-heal and you start to really wake up, you then start to get to the stage where I'm like noticing, oh my gosh, where are these thoughts coming from? They are not my thoughts. So here you are, I'm going to go meditate. I did a meditation course, a very basic meditation course. How to meditate for 15 seconds and then 30 seconds. And don't laugh, because I couldn't meditate for 15 seconds back in the day. My mind was racing all the time. So I'm like, how do you stop a busy mind? That busy mind keeps you unconnected. It keeps you out of present moment. And the darkness within you loves that because you can't grow. You can't take over if you're in that chaos all the time. So you start to really go inward, start to listen. What are those thoughts coming in? They're not my thoughts. And it's actually I remember being a little freaked out about that, saying, what's going on? Who's saying that? So I'm going to go meditate. Well, you should be making your kids lunches. You should be spending time with kids. You're a bad mom. You're this, you're that. Oh my gosh, I'm a bad mom. I can't take 5 minutes to meditate. I'm not at being a good mom. And then you just leave that and you become everything to everyone else, but you're not taking time for your self growth. Perfect plan. But the shadow side of you just won. Oh, don't let Brenda become the being she's supposed to be. Don't let this person become the being they're supposed to be. Why not? One, the shadow side within you loses control. B, you start to hold more light for the planet, which is needed at this time. You become a very powerful being and realize that the control this 3D world had on you was false. That you are a magnificent being. You can connect to God who loves you unconditionally. You have guides that love you and are with you every second. All you have to do is ask and they will help you. And we're taught, don't ask, just this. So we were taught so many things that are not true. And as we wake up and we find our magnificence, you're going to see, I'm not going to call it magic because people don't like that word. Miracles happen. So if you're an awakened person, first thing a lot of people see are numbers. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing 111, 1111. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Well, if you get into numbers and you really want to communicate with them, they'll start giving you, and I say they, your guides, your higher self, your beings of love that love you so much, that are helping you remember who you are, can communicate in numbers. What you're also going to notice is someone who's awakened will start to have synchronicities. They will be at the right place at the right time. They'll be like, wow, how did this happen? This is so cool. How did I meet this person? As you continue in your awakening, some people will start to notice the Mandela effect. Now, that's actually a really good thing. There's lots of cool stuff on the internet. And you know what? I think I'm going to do a coffee time with Brenda and friends on the Mandela effect, and even one on synchronicity, because these are really neat things that happen to an awakened person, where you start to really see, hey, maybe I do have more control of my life than I was ever taught to believe. So here we go. We're going through life. We're awakening. We're learning about ourselves. We're having ups and downs because as this shadow side of us is healing, old memories might come to the surface for healing. There's lots going on. We're very multidimensional. And that is okay. Now, someone will say, well, Brenda, you do this stuff, so do you get sick? Oh my gosh, you get sick still? Oh my gosh, do you have bad thoughts sometimes? Do you have bad days sometimes? Do you cry sometimes? Does bad things happen to you? I remember once, quite a few years ago, my son had a really bad car accident, and people were like, well, how can that happen? You're in spirituality. Yeah, but I'm also living on planet Earth where there's contrast right now. And we are in some pretty big contrast. But what I was able to do is when something big happened, I was able to detach from the emotion, look at it for what it is, and make the right decisions for me so things would get better quicker instead of staying in fear, anxiety, worry, and making the wrong decisions. So as you go through your spiritual journey, you're still going to have life happen. That's it. But how you respond, your perceptions, can you keep your light? Or instead of going into depression for maybe 3 weeks, you're going in for 20 minutes, and maybe it's 3 days. Wherever you are on your healing journey is perfect and evolving. That's it. Be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Be tolerant with yourself. Because ultimately, it is our choice on what world we wish to go to. Now, I will put up my hands. I'll put on 2 hands. I will yell it to the universe and the heavens. I'm on the ascension. I am totally with ascension. I'm coming back to unity. I have no need for any darkness, any chaos, any worry, any fear in my life anymore. I'm done. I've played that game for, I'm sure, many, 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 many lifetimes, and I'm tired and bored of it, actually. And now I have this peace within me that is foreign at the beginning, but now it's this peace that I just love. And I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? And then I think, well, I couldn't have done it sooner because the experiences I went through were needed to become who I am today. So there was an interview I did with someone for Coffee Time with Brenda and Friends, and it's not aired yet, but she said it so beautifully. She just said, I've come to a place of peace, and I don't miss the chaos, and I surrender, and I just live day to day, and I don't have competition anymore, and I'm still the same person, but with totally different values, I guess, and a totally different aspect or perception of life. She says it very eloquently, so that one will be posted next, but it's quite beautiful. So it is 9:30. I believe I said everything I wanted to say in the amount of time that I had. We'll probably continue it next time because there's so many great things out there. So you get to choose what you want in this new world. And do you want the lightest of the light? Do you want to go on that ascension train to a beautiful world where there's no more competition, no more duality, where instead of light and dark, we have love and more love, or light and more light? That's where I say yes to. And that's what I strive to work on. But your journey and my journey are going to be what it needs to be. So be patient with yourself. There's learning lessons. We don't go into that new energy with the baggage of the old energy that has to filter out of our system. So it's going to take time. So I get it. It's tough out there. There's a lot going on. Breathe deeply, stay connected. Meditate every day for 15 minutes. And if you don't know how to meditate and you want to do that course, I'll run it again. It's not a big deal. I like running it. And you're going to start off small. 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. But you are training this magnificent brain of yours to focus on what you want to focus on, not all the stuff in the background that shadow side of you wants to focus on. Because you are magnificent, and we are going to train you to find that magnificence. It's there, and it's there for everybody. You just have to do some work. And no one can do it for you. We can guide you, we can help you, but ultimately the work is yours. All right, everyone. Well, now we get to go into the healing session, which is everyone's favorite. I think it's my favorite because I just feel the love coming through. Actually, earlier today, as I was thinking about today's call, my eyes started watering. I'm like, why are my eyes watering? I just felt so much love for every cell of my body that it's like the excitement had to go somewhere. And I don't know, but I just feel so much peace today. I've gone through another yet big learning for those of you who know me, and I got the lesson. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's funny because I'll say to my son, oh my gosh, I had another learning lesson. It was so fabulous. He's like, okay, Mom, you're just going to say there's another one. You've been doing this for 13 years. And he just laughs at me. And maybe he gets frustrated with me, but he doesn't show his frustration. He just shakes his head. He said, I'll see you in another 2 months and you're going to be saying the same thing. But maybe not. I'm hoping it's coming. So I feel very light. I feel very at peace. And I'm going to say, I've never felt this ever. So it's a new level for me. And I love it. And if I have to go through another lesson, so be it. But this feeling I have is something I would love to stay in for as long as possible. So I'm going to put on the music. Let's get this healing going because I almost went on a rampage of chatting again. Oh my. All right, everyone. We're going to make sure the music's okay. I'm going to, of course, drink my water as I'm very thirsty. Okay. So, if you're new to this, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later, these beings of light that come through know who's here, know who's going to watch it, knows who's going to watch it 10 times. It's all okay. They're with you every time you decide to tap into this energy. And whatever's up for healing at that time will be addressed. So how do you get into the receiving mode? And please, as I'm talking, make sure you can hear me and the music's not too loud, and just give me some feedback on that. So you're going to relax. You're going to either lay down, sit down, doesn't matter. You want to stay, if you want to stay and hear the words and stay connected, then keep your back straight. But you can just fall asleep, go into a meditative state. You don't have to hear the words. It doesn't matter. It is actually the energy that is doing the work. So it's totally up to you on how you want to enjoy it. Nothing you need to do. Well, actually, there is one thing I would like you to do. Get into that receiving mode. And how do you do that? You say, God, beings of light, universe, source, whatever you want to call it. I am ready to let go of anything that's needed at this time. I say yes to the ascension process. I say yes to the light. I say yes to unity. I'm coming back home and it's feeling really, really good. So do whatever is needed in this session, because we have to heal in layers very gradually, because our 3D body needs to catch up. So here we go. All right, the contrast is good, so we're good. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. If you have any tension in your body, any emotions bubbling up, any anxiety, anything, just shake it off, move around, and allow deep breaths. And you can direct your breaths to those areas. But what I would like you to do is allow deep breaths that are comfortable to you. I will generally use an inhale of 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out for 5, 6, 7, 8. But it doesn't matter what works for me. We want to do what works for you. As you are having these nice deep breaths, your tummy's expanding. And when you're exhaling, you're getting your tummy's coming back. Just imagine your belly button going all the way in to expel that air. All of you, although we're here together, we are all getting our own unique healing. You're in the octahedron of love. Any negative energy that's leaving is leaving the earth plane. It's not staying in your home. You're not getting anyone else's. You're in this beautiful, light, powerful, healing light. It feels so good. Now, some of us are sensitive to the energy and some of us are not. But regardless, you are getting exactly what you need today. Just allow, trust, and know that your healing today is happening at a physical level, a mental level, an emotional level. You are letting go of that stuff you no longer need, that stuff that gets in the way of who you truly are, allowing your magnificence to shine so bright. So you too can be that magnificent light being, holding the light for those who can't. We're all in this together. And as we go through our personal healings, just relaxing through this energy, it is weaving through your essence. It is talking to every cell of your body, releasing those cell memories that are no longer needed. They're no longer useful. And bringing you back into reconnection of who you truly are. For some of us, it's like we're floating in space, surrounded by light. And they're in our essence, pulling out what's no longer needed. And it feels so peaceful, so calm. Now some others are feeling emotional. They might feel some anxiety coming to the surface. Just let it go. You don't need to know where it's from. You acknowledge it and say, hey, I see ya. I'll see you later. I don't need you anymore. I trust in God. I trust in love. And I know when I say yes to the ascension process, I have just paved a beautiful pathway home. In all these healings, our chakras are being balanced, our energy systems are being cleared, our meridian systems are being unknotted, our auric fields and biofields are cleansing, whatever's needed. We don't have to fully understand it all, and it doesn't matter. But imagine this fluid, beautiful light healing whatever you need to heal at this time. You may have emotions come up. Just allow those tears. Allow that energy to release in any way that you need today. A lot of us take on the sadness of the world like sponges. I want you to build a wall of light around you, so you can keep your beautiful field clear and send love. Because when we absorb the sadness of this world, we become dim. It's very hard to hold the light for others. And today we are going to bring you to a magnificence, a beautiful illumination of light. So when you wake up tomorrow morning and you're on your day, you can imagine this beautiful beam of light coming through you, to you and through you, and then out to everyone and everything you meet. And you can walk confidently knowing that you're making such a positive difference in this beautiful world of ours. I'm just going to allow this beautiful energy to do what's ever needed at this time. And for those of you who might be in a dark place or struggling, we're sending you this extra burst of love, a big hug. We're holding you. You're never alone during this process. And many of us know sometimes our darkest days turn into our brightest days after. You have so much support from these beings of love that love you so much. So allow that unneeded, that unwanted, that energy, that negative dense energy in your field that has no business being there, have it come to the surface and let it just transmute out and be replaced by God's love and light, bringing a memory of who you truly are. Beautiful, magnificent, powerful. You can say, I am beautiful, I am confident, I am healthy, I am love, I am happy, I'm at peace. Whatever you want that's positive, you can say it right now. And this energy is still weaving through your essence. And every cell of your body is shining brighter and vibrating. You know, every cell of your body wants to be with you. And it loves that you're taking control. Talk to that body of yours. If you're feeling sick, talk to that body. You know, I can get over a cold. I can get over anything that comes my way in the fastest amount of time. You know why? Because you're going to say, because we can. I love every cell of my body. I love my innate smart body. I love my immune system. It is so smart and intelligent. And if I get out of the way, it knows exactly what to do. And now at this time, this healing's continuing. You can bring in anybody that you might be worried about, may like to send this beautiful energy to them. You can think about them. You don't have to explain what's wrong. These beings of light know exactly what they need. You can simply say, I would love this energy to be made available to this person, this person, this person. Whether they're in your home or they're across the seas and maybe they've gone to transition to the other side. You can send as much love as you wish at this time. And now, as your healing continues and those healings continue that you have the special mentions for, we are now going to start this beautiful energy healing and weaving through your home. Any sadness or lower energies or anxiety flowing through your home from those interactions we might have with loved ones that may not always be so pleasant. That dense energy is being gathered, is being located, is being pulled out of your home, and we're going right to the molecular structure of your home. So as that healing is happening to yourself, to your loved ones, to your home, we are asking that this energy flow through your homes to anybody who's there, to your pets, and to the entire structure of your home and your land. And just basting in this love, basting in this healing, allowing, trusting, and knowing that it knows exactly what is needed. We can say things like, my house is full of love, joy, and happiness. We all get along, we laugh. You set the tone, you set the intentions, you create what you want. And just say it like it's happening. This house is filled of love, joy, and happiness. We're all going to have a peaceful sleep. We're going to wake up with smiling faces and a reconnection to each other. We're allowing all the worries and anxieties to just melt away, bringing in this beautiful calmness of peace, knowing and trusting that all is okay. And as our healing continues, we are now going to set the intention to add this beautiful beam of light, so powerful and so great, more magnificent than ever before, more powerful, because the light on this planet is the lightest it's ever been. And we're imagining this beautiful beam of light is now going to wrap around, float around in just this beautiful, loving light, just covering, surrounding Mother Earth, weaving through all the landscapes and the waters, the cities, the towns, the forests. Every part of Mother Earth is now this beautiful beam of white light. It is being made available to every human on this planet, to every animal, to every fish, marine life, to every insect, to the air, to the water molecules. If you can just imagine the most beautiful places and imagine the darkest places weaving with this beautiful energy. And what is this energy doing? It is dissolving any darkness, sadness, anxiety from those we may never meet. We're allowing these deep breaths. It can become very emotional when you start to feel the energy and how beautiful and powerful it is. And you are part of this healing. You're here creating it as we co-create together. It is touching the lives of those in some of the most despair. May they feel the peace and the love of God. May they know they are loved beyond measure and that they deserve all the goodness that every person on this planet deserves. It is their birthright. Now we're asking the dolphin and whale energy to also weave through planet Earth and any other beings of light that wish to add into this healing, contribute to this healing. We will always say yes, because we're all working together. And as Mother Earth heals, we heal. And as we heal, Mother Earth heals. We're all in this together. This beautiful energy is becoming stronger and stronger, more intense, touching the lives of so many. You are a powerful being, and your presence here today is adding this beautiful, intense energy, this compassion and love and peace to this beautiful world. There is this peace coming over all of us. There's this peace coming over humanity. The hearts of so many are opening up to this awakening, to this time on planet Earth that is so spectacular and magnificent, where we get to reclaim our birthright, our magnificence. Every thought, every word, every action is fed to this universe. We want to keep them positive and high. Oh wow, I don't want to get out of this one today. This feels so good. It's very powerful tonight. And that's because we're doing this together. You are a powerful person, and each time you attend these calls, you are becoming more connected and more powerful. It's almost like each of us are getting a shower of this beautiful divine light. And anything that we need is being attended to at this time. And it's so beautiful how we can come together and get a healing for ourselves, our family, our friends, our homes, our pets. Yet send this love and healing energy to this entire planet. And now we are going to go even beyond that, because I know no limits. We know no limits. We are sending out this energy to the universe, the multiverse, to the beings of love that are helping humanity. We are coming back home. We are excited. We are in love. We are in love with ourselves. We are in love with humanity. We are in love with planet Earth, our mother, who has taken us on this ascension ride, and we say yes to this ride. We are coming home. And as this meditation, group healing comes to an end, the energy does not stop. It will be with you for 4 to 5 days. Drink plenty of water. Whenever you think and connect, you can imagine that beautiful wave, beam of light encompassing Mother Earth that will stay there. It does not stop when we stop. The healing continues, our connection continues. In this state of bliss, this is when you can ask for anything. Peace on earth, peace in your home, reconnection, the ability to move forward, the strength to move forward, the courage to move forward, to ask those questions you might be scared to ask, to learn those things you might be scared to learn. There is nothing to fear. You just become who you truly are. We are all now being placed in these liquid bubbles of love that you'll be with. It'll be with you going forward. Just remember this time. Remember this peace. Remember that everything you say, do, think matters. Stay in present moment. Hold your light and sleep well. I'm going to bring out that singing bowl, and for those who love it, stay on. And I'm one of those that love it. But if you're ready to just base in this energy and stay asleep, you're welcome to just drift off, end the call. Thank you so much for joining. That was beautiful. I'm buzzing all over. I don't even want to open my eyes. I just want to stay in it. Thank you, and thank you. You are magnificent. You are loved, and you matter. Thank you so much for joining. We're a few minutes over. I'm going to end the call. Thank you for joining. It's always a pleasure. And we'll be on next Tuesday. I'm just going to write here. Good night. And thank you. Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Sleep well.